Good morning, scholar friends. It's great to see you on this lovely, hopefully it's lovely where you are, September morning. Welcome to a new semester. This is fall 25, so 25, 26 academic year. So please remind yourself that the time is going by and you are getting through your programs little by little. Don't forget that. I just have a few things to chat with you all about this morning, a couple of reminders, and a few things, and then we'll open the floor for any questions or conversation. Number one thing is the Institute on Teaching and Mentoring. We are almost there. I think I looked at the countdown on the registration site. It says about 36, 37 days. So we are so close. And I am so looking forward to seeing all of you here in Atlanta in October. Please make sure that you have completed the registration process. If you don't have the appropriate links to register, get in contact with either me, Veronica, or Robert Puckett immediately. It is surprisingly or not surprisingly the end of September. And so at the beginning of next month, we'll be putting in our rooming lists and making sure that everybody has hotel confirmations, etc. So make sure that you are registered and tell all your SREB friends that they need to be registered too. So make sure everybody has their registration in. And on that note as well, I do want to make sure that you all know that you can invite other folks. Like if there are other scholars that you think might be interested in the work that we do and the program that we put on at the Institute, you are more than welcome to ask them to get in contact with Dr. Puckett so that they can get registration information. We would love to have any scholar who is in our, in our areas, who's getting a PhD, getting that doctorate, and everyone needs support right now. So again, make sure that you are registered, make sure that all your SREB friends are registered, and if you have other friends who are not in the program but might be interested, please let them know because we would love to have them attend as well. It is the beginning of the semester, fall semester. And so this should go without saying, but once again, please make sure you upload your grades and enrollment at the beginning/end of every semester. If you are a state-funded scholar, we cannot pay out your stipend if we do not have proof of enrollment. And if you are getting any other type of reimbursement, whether it's professional development, scholar support, academic support, we need to see that you are enrolled in order for us to pay out your reimbursements and or stipends. So please make sure that you upload every semester. I know I sound like a broken record. I will continue to sound like a broken record. I want to make sure that everyone is submitting their grades and enrollment at the beginning/end of every semester. And even if you are not receiving any reimbursements, even if you're not receiving a state, if you're not a state funded scholar and not receiving a stipend, I still want you to upload your grades and enrollment because it is a touch point for us to make sure that you are getting the right support that you need and that you are making continuous successful academic progress and the like. So please make sure you do that. Next update, as most of you all are already aware, I have taken on the role of director of the Doctoral Scholars Program, which means that my previous position, the program specialist position, is open. We are hoping to close that very quickly, and we will be introducing the new program specialist to you, if not before the Institute, then definitely at the Institute. So we're really looking forward to bringing that person on board and letting you all get to start to build that relationship with that person. Um, Mentor of the Year award. As most of you know, or most of you who've been to the Institute already, on the Saturday, we do our awards ceremony at lunchtime, and we go through all kinds of awards. So Mentor of the Year, Extra Mile Award, like Recruiting for 10 Years Award. But we cannot do the Mentor of the Year award without your nominations for your mentors. So Robert did ask me to let you all know that the Mentor of the Year nomination closes this Friday, which is the 20-something or other. So please make sure that you get your Mentor of the Year nominations in. That is one of the highlights of the program that we put on, but it's also a major highlight and a major award for the mentors who do receive that award. So if you have not already submitted a nomination, the 26th. I knew it was 20 something. I knew that. All right. So Mentor of the Year applicate or nominations are due on the 26th, and you should have also received a reminder message from Dr. Puckett, either, I think he said yesterday. So if you have any questions about that, please reach out to either Veronica or Robert, and they'll be able to point you in the right direction for that nomination. Last but not least, at least at the moment, I did want to talk very briefly about the changing landscape of higher ed. I know this is like a continual conversation, but we have had some institutions, some of our large state partner institutions, to shutter their DEI offices. And there had been concerns about, okay, well, the DEI offices is closed now. Does that mean that I'm still going to have my award? What does that mean? And so I want to let you all know that yes, it is incredibly disheartening and sad to see a lot of these offices that provide all these services to various communities across campuses. It's terrible that they're closing. And if you have been told that you have funding for this academic year, believe that, okay? Unless you have been told something otherwise, don't worry about your funding situation. And I mean, I'll just put it out there. One of the institutions I'm referring to is Clemson. And I know that we were given the go-ahead to support some new scholars coming in from Clemson for this fall academic year. And as soon as we got notification, about 2 days later is when that DEI office closed. And so I know there have been a lot of concerns there. But again, if you are in one of these institutions where there has been some questions, where there have been some office closings, please know that if you have been told that you have funding for this year, then that is going to be the case. A lot of times what's happening and what we have been experiencing is that maybe some funds came from this office now, but now they're going to come from another office. So if you've been told that you have funding for this academic year, then you are good to go. Let me see what else. I think that's about it on my list of updates, etc. at the moment. So let me open the floor for questions.
Okay, and we also had some questions that were submitted prior to
Oh, yes.
the session.
Okay, so one of the questions was, when will we be able to see the list of academic institutions attending and their tables, referring to the recruiting fair? And also when we'll be able to access registration for CV reviews. So all of that is coming very soon. Robert told me to tell you that he's apologizing. His computer audio is doing something weird and he's having to restart his computer. So I apologize for that. But the information for registering for or signing up for the CV reviews will be coming out soon. We are still in the process of getting recruiters on board for the Institute, so we don't have that list available quite yet. We will have it available closer toward the time of the Institute, so give us another few weeks. And we will have that list available for you. Now, on that end, if you know of any institutions or if you have connections at other institutions beside your own, where you think that they might be interested in showcasing their institution or um, their corporate or their corporation, we are, we are still we still have space open in the recruiting hall. So if you know anyone who might be interested, also please get in touch with Dr. Puckett, who will be able to share that recruitment information. Um, Also on the lines of the CV reviews, this year, we will be doing headshots for our SREB scholars. So we're still putting together the sign up system, but you will have the opportunity to take a professional headshot with our photographer, and your cost will be $10. And so once we get all of that figured out, we will get that information out to you as well so that you can be prepared. You can set up your time and go and get your headshot made. Let's see, what was the other question on here? Is there a time limit on applying for dissertation funding? Do we need to be PhD candidates, as in proposal defended before applying? If you are already on this call, that means that you are a current scholar, whether you came in as a doctoral awardee or a dissertation awardee. If you are a doctoral awardee, you will have to seek other funding for once you get to your dissertation phase and you have cycled out of funding from the institution and or SREB. If you can do one or the other and not both. So you can either be a state scholar or an institutional scholar. You can either be a doctoral awardee or a dissertation awardee, but not both. So you cannot start off with a doctoral award and then move on into the dissertation award. So please be aware of that. Now, we try to send out information between the newsletter and between our social media platforms, any opportunities that are available in terms of funding. So keep a lookout on that. But if you are a doctoral awardee, you cannot seek dissertation funding through this program. So I wanted to share that. Let's see, Naomi says, if we invite students not a part of SREB or our mentor that we want to nominate, do they take on full financial responsibility for the trip? Okay, Naomi, if this is the first time you have invited your faculty mentor to attend, we will cover the full cost of them to attend the Institute. So on your registration, there should have been an area that you filled out that says, yes, I'd like to invite my faculty mentor to attend. At that point, we'll, do some reviewing and checking on our end, and we will send them that invitation to register, and we will cover all of their expenses for that registration. Now, if you are inviting students who are not a part of SREB, there still is a registration cost associated with registering and participating in the Institute. And I don't want to tell you a specific amount because there are slightly different ones depending on classification. But I just say to get in contact with Robert Puckett, and he will make sure that they get the correct registration information. Another question that came up is there any chance in the future that we could request and receive travel funding before the trip? Okay. I'm assuming that I'm going to make the assumption that this is referring to our professional development fund, and the answer for that, unfortunately, is no. Um, once you request funding, we do have to wait for you to provide receipts at the end of your event for us to be able to process your professional development reimbursement. And that is not only the policy of doctoral scholars, but that is the policy of the organization, the Southern Regional Education Board. So unfortunately, no. If ever something changes, we will certainly let you know, but right now that is not an available
Option.
opportunity. Okay. All right, I think those are all the questions that came through messaging and chat. What other questions might you all have this morning? Because I know somebody has a question. Don't do this. Don't make me pick on somebody. I know somebody has something to say.
And you can either put it in the chat or you can unmute and ask your question. Or if you want to ask a question anonymously, you can send it to me directly and I'll just read it.
All right,
Tiff,
while everyone
while
is typing their questions, because I know everyone is typing their questions, how is the semester going so far? How's research going? How are courses going? I know everybody's got a story. I know everyone has something that is just like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm going through this. But I mean, this is a safe space for us, and I want to make sure that you all have the opportunity to, express your joy as well as express your angst and frustrations.
Tiff, can I say something about the
Yeah.
Mentor of the Year nominations?
Yes.
Let me encourage all of you, if you haven't done it, to for your mentors, if you think they are deserving, it's 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 strategic to do the nominations, because if they win that award, that it is this thing, this award, not this thing. This award has really grown in prestige. It's a big deal, and it's a resume item for, or a CV item for your mentors if they are named in that. Even if they are nominated and do not win, the fact that you took the time to nominate them is a big deal. And they get certificates from us that acknowledge your nomination. So your efforts, if you will, are not gone unrewarded and unrecognized. They get a certificate, I mean a really pretty gold leaf certificate, name letting them know that they were nominees for the Mentor of the Year award. To even be nominated is a big deal. And we try to recognize that and give you all some kudos, if you will, some pats on the back for taking the time to make that nomination. So we really do encourage you, if you don't do it this year, over the time you are with SRAB, at least one of those times, you should nominate your Mentor of the Year, your mentor for Mentor of the Year. Now, I'm saying that, of course, only if you think they deserve it. We don't want you just be doing it just to be doing it as an exercise in routine. If you think these folk are really deserving of it, you should take the time to pen a nomination letter for that award. All right, I'll stop on that commercial note.
Well, Tiffany, one question that came up earlier, how many times can a mentor be invited to on us for us to, however we handle that? Is it all 3 years? Is it just one
Right.
year?
So, okay, here's how that works. Technically, they can be invited every single year, but once they attend as your faculty mentor guest, then that is the only time that we will cover their expenses. So we will cover their expenses one time. So let's say that future Dr. Bruno over here says, oh, I would really like for my mentor of my faculty mentor to attend this year, and we extend the invitation this year, but there's some conflict because they have another conference that day and they just can't make it, or it's Halloween, I got to be home with my kids, you know, that kind of situation. I mean, that does not count as that one time. So, you know, she would be able to invite her mentor the next year, and but once they come, that is the one time that we will count. So you can, again, you can invite them every year. We will cover the full cost of one year when they attend, and if they are wanting to attend those other years, which we do highly encourage as well, um, you know, they will have to cover their own expenses after that one time.
Okay. Also, if current scholars have a conflict as far as attending the institution because there's something else that they have on the books, how do we handle that? And is that a case by case basis?
Typically it is a case by case basis. If there is a conflict, please reach out to me and let me know what said conflict is, and we will let you know if we can grant you permission to be excused from this institute. Okay, Monica Daniels, yes, for self-care routines. Does SREB help with connecting scholars with a mentor in our particular fields? Okay, so here, yes and no, right? So do you have access to every scholar who has ever come through the program who is in the scholar directory? Yes. So you can technically go into the scholar directory, you know, find somebody who is in your field and reach out to them. Um, do we assign mentors? No.
No.
And the thinking behind that really is that, and if any of you have ever really had like a really good mentor, it is a very personal experience, right? So, you know, somebody, well, when we were in, you know, so long ago when we were in high school and you were in random programs and they would assign you a mentor. I mean, that's one thing, but now that you are at a place in your career and your professional and academic career, it really is a person, there's a large personal element. So we don't assign mentors per se. However, there are, you know, thousands of folks that you can access in the scholar directory that are most likely willing to help you out and to discuss mentoring opportunities. Also, that being said, later on this afternoon, we'll be having an office hours session with our program graduates. And this is one of the topics that we've been kind of thinking about, is how to connect some of our program graduates who are working in their fields to our current scholars in a mentor type way. So this is a conversation that we have been having, and we're hope to, you know, be able to share more information with you about that as the academic year progresses.
Also, in Dr. Harrison, Dr. Abraham, you correct me if I'm wrong. When scholars attend the Institute and you go to the Chalk Talks, a lot of those Chalk Talks are being led by some of our program graduates in those specific disciplines. So that's another opportunity to connect, and like we mentioned, we do have other graduates who attend the Institute, years and years after they have um, graduated. Some of them come back as presenters, some come as recruiters. So there's other opportunities to connect with them at the Institute as well.
And these are the things, this is why we talk about how it is important to work on building relationships when you come to the Institute. So not just in those chalk talk sessions, not just in the concurrent sessions, but also with recruiters, because there are a number of recruiters who are former or who are program graduates, and they specifically come back because they know the value of the program. And so that is also another way for you to connect with our graduates and connect with folks out who, can help you and want to see you succeed in your fields. Hand up, Naomi.
Yeah, I just wanted to answer your question and I wanted to talk out loud so it wasn't so quiet. So how is the year going? This is my 3rd year with no mandatory coursework, but I am taking a stats course and it's a little scary because it's a little more chill than I expected. So I don't know what to make of that right now.
Yeah.
Even though we still have like research projects going on in the lab, that's hectic. But as
Yeah.
far as like my own work, I feel like I'm in a good spot because I use my summer pretty wisely. So I feel okay right now.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. And hold on to that as the sun goes behind the clouds and we get into the winter time and things just seem very depressing. Okay. So hold on to this moment. Yes, I can't wait to be ABD and get a job. Woo-hoo. I hear that. Keep on pressing because you're almost done.
And since we did have some folks having technical difficulties trying to get in, can we do like a recap of the first couple of points that you spoke
Oh,
of,
yeah.
please?
Yeah, so just a few things. Again, make sure that you are registered for the Institute on Teaching and Mentoring. It's here in Atlanta, which you should all know by now, October 30th through November 2nd. Make sure you are registered, make sure all your SREB friends are registered, and if you know other scholars who you think could benefit from coming to the Institute, please connect them with Dr. Puckett so we can get them registered as well. Please make sure, as usual, I will continue to sound like a broken record, to upload your grades and enrollment at the beginning/end of every semester. It is a touch point for us and it, will determine if you get paid. So, if you have a reimbursement, if you have a stipend that needs to get paid, please make sure you have your grades and enrollment in when they're supposed to be in. The role of the program specialist is currently in the process of being filled. And so by the time the Institute comes around, we will introduce you to the new program specialist who will be taking on the majority of the work of the day-to-day work connecting with our scholars. And we're really excited about this person coming on board. So just be on the lookout for those announcements. Mentor of the Year applications are due by the end of this week. Please, 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 if you feel so moved and your Mentor of the Year, if you feel like they're deserving, please consider nominating your faculty mentor for Mentor of the Year. And also, the last point that I had is there are a number of DEI offices, and I use DEI in quotations because they're called everything at this point. But there are a lot of those offices are closing down, and I know that can be scary because a lot of some funding for our students comes out of those offices. But please know, if you have been told that you are getting funding this year, then just hold on to that, and that is the case unless you have been told otherwise. Your funding is secure. So those are those couple of points. Let's see. Maria Mentor hasn't received the link for registration and booking tickets. We will check into that for you and make sure that that invitation gets out shortly.
While you're on that issue,
Mhm.
Dr. Harrison, Dr. Puckett, when the invitation goes out to our scholars, to the mentors, excuse me, do the scholars get a notification that their mentor has been invited?
No, they do not.
No. Mm-mm.
Okay.
But be on the lookout for that. And yes, Maria, if you could contact Robert, we'll get that squared away for you. Katia says, my mentor tells me I'm rushing through the program while I'm just not trying to extend my time at school and complete coursework in 2 years and the program in 4 to 5 years. How would you address that? I might not address it like your professor because I'm of the I am of the thought that, listen, if you are doing the things, then do the things. And if you are going through your program, if you are doing well, if your mentor or your committee is, okay with the pace of your research, then go with that. Don't worry about getting through a program too fast. It is about, at least from our standpoint, we want you to finish. And this program is literally designed to help you finish in a faster time frame. So we put these things into place, not just the finances, but the support, the professional development. We put all of these things in place so you don't have to spend 11 years in school. So, I mean, don't tell your faculty mentor, don't sweat me,
Yeah.
but don't sweat me, you know what I mean? So like I said, if your committee is okay with the progress that you are doing, then go with that. And if you get finished in 4 years, great. If you get finished in 4.5 years, great. If you get finished in 3.5 years, whatever. I mean, you do the work. This is your research. And this is just your PhD in your dissertation. You still have an entire career ahead of you. And so, look at it as I'm very invested in starting my career early. How about that? So, yes.
Thank you. That's helpful because I know that the goal is to graduate and not to extend, and this is what I hear.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And I mean, if your mentor has any questions or would like to talk with us about the supports that we have put in place, we're more than happy to do that. But literally that's why this program is here, is to support you in getting the PhD and reducing all of those barriers that would allow you not to get it. So I'd
Thanks,
say
Dr.
that
Harrison. Thank you.
It is also, if I might add my 2 cents to that, it is also important that you don't come across as if you are cutting corners anywhere, because faculty come across to you all, to all of us, of it was done a certain way for them, and they pass that down generation to generation, and you just got to make it's a delicate dance of hitting that balance where you're pushing to get the heck on out there, but not appearing to them as if you are coming across as if you're cutting corners to get to the finish line. That hits people the wrong way. It certainly hits your faculty mentors that way, and you got to just be conscious of that and be sensitive to it, so that you definitely don't come across as cutting corners to get to that finish line, because that just leaves those faculty wanting to slow you down, and we don't want them to. We don't want them to do that, to make you slow down. And we want you out there. And
I think that's
you all
the case.
want to get out there as quickly as possible.
Thanks, Dr. A. I think that's the case. That's what she's thinking.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
I can share something if you want to, Tiffany.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. So for the ones that are new in the program or the ones that are in the process, when I came here to the SHREB, I tell you this, I was told that my whole program was closing, right? That was big time. Tiffany knows the whole story, and Veronica too. It was closing. So no advisor, there was nobody there. It was just the committee, and I was trying to communicate with them. them back to me. And then starting mapping to what Dr. Abraham is mentioning right now, like how do I deal with this? And I didn't know, there was no guidance. So when I came to the SHREB, first I would say take advantage of the conferences. Go as many as you can and talk to the people in there, talk to the professors, ask them. There were things that I had no idea how to encounter it. And then eventually I realized, okay, or I either go with this depressing thing of thinking and lay myself down. I'm like, I have no help. Or I take advantage of every time I come here to the SHREB, which by the way, every time I came, I was so stressed out and down. And every time I came, separate from the ballroom part, that we all know what happens at the there was these times that I was like, oh my God, every time I came here, I came so like low down, depressed, and then I came back all refreshed, new energy, notes, asking people how they do postdoctorals, how they got recruited, how do they do this, and eventually you have so much knowledge. So you should take advantage. This is, to me, is an amazing opportunity to get all that knowledge, at least the strategy, right? The mechanisms of how you can progress and get to the end. Right now, so I was able to pass comprehensive exams, defend my research proposal, and right now I'm working on my dissertation. I already did the whole field work in Ecuador. I came back. I'm working on the methodology, and I'm looking at postdoctorals, and now I'm looking forward to go to the SHREP, and then finally stand up to the table and say, okay, I'm gonna graduate. Finally, so all this, to be honest, it wouldn't be made if I hadn't had the opportunity to be part of the SHREP. And then to me, I will always be grateful. And I've told this, Tiffany, Dr. Abraham, Veronica, I will always be grateful for that. So take advantage because it does work. If you ask me what was the span, well, 2020, I came during the pandemic. The first one that we had, the first meeting was online. Remember that, Dr. Abraham? There was an online
Yes, I do.
2021 in the spring. And you were like, oh, this wasn't okay. So let's try to come here in Georgia in 2022. Then I went to Georgia. So I went through that whole process. And I'm telling you, right now, May 2026, I'm looking forward to graduate. That's my experience.
Jeffrey, we like that.
All
And
right, that's what I like to
now that
hear.
you have put it out there in public, we're going to hold you to that.
That's right. That's right. But truly, that I know everybody has there's no PhD program that is without its ups and downs and like way downs. And please know that you can come out on the other side. And that even though it seems like, oh my God, this is never going to end, it will. I can promise you that. Keep working toward it. Keep, if you're at your dissertation writing phase, write a little something every day. Take advantage of the resources here at SREB, as well as all of the program benefits that you have available to you through NCFDD. So you have a lot of resources. We are here to make sure you get to the end. And Jeffrey, all right, we're gonna have to talk about this graduation because I feel like I might need to show up in New Jersey. You know what I mean? So but yeah, I want you to succeed. Dr. A wants you to succeed. Everyone on our team, the reason why we do this work is because we want to make sure that you have the opportunities to go and be your best academic self. And that's part of the reason why we do what we do. And so anytime you have feedback and good stories and even not so good stories, we do appreciate you letting us know that, because that allows us to pivot, make tweaks to program here and there so that we can serve you better and serve all future students in a better fashion as well. So, yay.
And just for your future reference, I put a link to some videos on our YouTube channel from past graduates, well, past scholars, graduates, and other folks who are connected to us through the Institute. And you'll see some of that pep rally type um, uh, things that Jeffrey mentioned and other people have mentioned, and it, give you a little boost. And, the stories may change of how folks get to the end, but it's always inspiring. So we can't wait for you to experience that in person.
Yay. Any other questions this morning? Quintina, UGA.
Yeah. I'm not taking the plane this time. I'm driving
Yes.
to downtown. I used to live downtown and commute to UGA, but now I live in Athens. Makes things easier.
Okay.
Yes.
All
Yeah.
right. Good.
Very
Good.
good.
I have
Good.
a small story and a thankful one that I want to share. So this
Yeah.
semester, after I'd accepted my assistantship because it's renewed every year, I met with the professor that I'm assisting, and I just realized that it's a lot of busy work. I knew that I needed to be instructor of record and all, and I still have to make up for that part, but I had to quickly make the decision to weigh on the load, and then on the load of getting to candidacy and forming a committee and everything. And I did speak with Dr. Harrison, Dr. Tiffany Harrison, about that. So I just wanted to say that I dropped my assistantship, and because of that, I didn't have the income from there. But because I have SREB funding, it didn't shake me that much. I still have some money in my account, and then I still have a way of paying my tuition. And then, I had to balance the two, but it was not, SREB was so much of a shock absorber to help me make that decision and make it fast. Because by now I would have been overflowing, have small little children. And
Yeah.
so it's just for me to be able to get to that point mentally and psychologically, even emotionally, where I can say, okay, I need to focus and think every day about what I'm going to do and how I'm going to finish this program. So I want to share that.
Excellent.
That's yeah.
Oh, good. Listen, I always try to, whenever you talk to me, and hopefully this comes across, but I try to let you all know that there are always options, and that, sometimes we just need to talk things through to see what the best option for your particular case is. So I'm super glad to hear that that has worked out for you. Fantastic.
Excellent.
Thank you.
All right. Anything else for the good of the cause this morning? Okay.
All right.
Well, this is a recorded conversation, so we will make this available to you. I do also want to say that this is September. So as usual, we will not be doing office hours in October because I will be seeing you all in October. But I really am looking forward to having you all come down to Atlanta. We're gonna have a great time. It's, gonna be an opportunity for you to, be your best self and also be your authentic self, and really just move the needle forward on your degree progression. So as usual, if you have any questions about anything, please reach out to myself or Veronica. And we're here to support you. So I'm glad everything is going well for the most part. We're going to hold on to that feeling as we go into the fall, and we will see you all in October. Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank